Hello there guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for my live review of Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 2. And first of all, sorry if everything is a little bit echoey. I'm at my girlfriend's house. You know, we can't really do much about that audio situation. I do hope it's going to be alright, but how good is that? The Premier League is back. Everyone, and I mean everyone around us dropped points. Manchester United, Sheffield twice. Spurs obviously dropping points. Arsenal lost. Who else is there? Actually, Wolves won. But everyone, like literally everyone dropped points and we get the W. I'm so happy, honestly. You can't imagine it. When that goal went in the first half, honestly, it just felt like everything was back to normal. We can't defend to save our lives, especially set pieces. Honestly, I was fuming. But we managed to turn it around within just 1 minute and 57 seconds. We scored the 2 goals to turn the game around. And it was bloody brilliant. Bloody brilliant. Of course, if you're new to Blues Fans TV, please make sure to subscribe. That'd be massively appreciated. And drop a like on this live stream if you're watching it right now. And also on this video if you're watching it at a later point, and you know, at that point also leave me your thoughts on the game then in the comment section below. But let's just talk about the game, and starting that by talking about the lineup, which was to some extent pretty much what I expected. In other parts, not at all what I expected. So it was Kepa in goal, a back four of Marcos Alonso left back, which I kind of saw coming but didn't want to happen. Azpilicueta at right back, centre back partnership of Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen. Then a midfield 2/4-2-3-1. It was kind of both to start with. Once Kovacic was off, it was a clear 4-3-3. But let's just name them the, I guess, initial midfield three of N'Golo Kante, this time in the middle in that kind of usual Jorginho position. Mason Mount, well, at the start more to his left and Kovacic to his right, but then they kind of switched it around and Kovacic was on the left and Mason Mount was on the right. Ruben Loftus-Cheek started. He's finally back. He started on the left wing though, Willian started on the right, and Olivier Giroud started up front, which I really didn't see coming. I know he scored against QPR and, well, Tammy didn't, but regardless, you know, I really didn't expect that, if I'm going to be honest with you. Really did not expect that. But yeah, I mean, going into the game, we had all of the ball, literally all of the ball, but really struggled to break Aston Villa down. We really struggled to break them down. But what can you say? I mean, they just defended with 2 blocks of 4, well, actually 1 block of 4, then another block of 5 in a 4-5-1 formation. And we struggled. I mean, all that we had in the first half was a slightly deflected shot by Mason Mount that the goalkeeper did well to save. And then a couple of crosses which we just about didn't manage to get on the end of, especially one by Mason Mount actually, where Ruben Loftus-Cheek almost got on the end of it to tap it in at the far post. Willian also had a couple of good crosses from the wide areas, but, you know, I mean, that was that. Really, someone's kicking off saying Christensen out and Ruben Loftus-Cheek was shit. I will get to all of your guys' comments towards the end of the live stream. Basically, I will just talk through what I have to say to start with. And yeah, we really struggled to break them down. Some weird animal flying in front of my face. We really struggled to break them down, but Aston Villa did absolutely nothing. I mean, we had about 75% of the ball for the entirety of the first half, but we just didn't do anything with it. We honestly didn't do anything with it. And then in the, what minute was it? Let me just get it up to make sure. In the 43rd minute, Courtney Hawes, or however you pronounce his name, don't know where he's from in all honesty, scored from, well, it was initially a set piece. They played it short, kind of held the ball there, played it back in and then across. And we were just all bad. I mean, Aspie was slow to react. He was also, you know, left with 2 people on the far post and didn't really get on the end of it. And then, don't know who it was, but got a shot of, yeah, it was a shot that Kepa, in my opinion, did really well to save. Some people apparently asking whether Kepa was good enough there. I thought it was a very good save in the first place, and you cannot expect him to save that into a less dangerous area than he did. In my opinion, he did the best he could in that position. But no one else helped him. Christensen was stood in the middle of nowhere. The ball was crossed in and he didn't move a single metre towards our own goal. And then, you know, the rebound was just caught by Hawes and he bounced it in for the, or tapped it in for the 1-0 at the time. That was then half time. And I was like, all right, we need to make a couple changes here. But it wasn't as easy as, all right, this change has to happen and everything will be good. Because Villa were just defending so deep and we were really struggling to break them down. But come the 55th minute, we did start making substitutions as Ross Barkley came on to replace Mateo Kovacic, which was interesting, but also made it a very clear 4-3-3 rather than a kind of a mix of a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3 like it was in the first half, when sometimes Kovacic and Kante were on the same height, sometimes Kovacic pushed up more, sometimes even Kante pushed out wide, but Kante for the most part today sat, which I really enjoyed actually. But more on that in a little bit. And also Ruben Loftus-Cheek was replaced by Christian Pulisic. You guys know that I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but of course he was out for 15 months and yeah, he had 2 friendlies, one with the in-house friendly, so 3 that's not going to make him incredible. There still was some good movement there, you know, arguably the best movement of anyone. You know, he was the closest to, you know, out of anyone in our team in the first half to get on the end of any of the crosses. So, you know, he still has that, but he did look a little bit slow and lethargic. So, you know, that is a little bit of a problem. But, you know, Pulisic came on for him, and how many minutes after he came on? 5 minutes after he came on, he already scored the equaliser with a just lovely piece of movement, a lovely piece of movement. And Azpilicueta with the cross from the right-hand side. Barkley doing really well for coming on then and pushing into the box to kind of take a man out, leaving Pulisic completely unmarked at the very far post. And then with a lovely first-time finish on the volley, kind of half volley, I guess, placed it, I think, against the underside of the bar, and then he went in. Really, really good finish, genuinely. And I'm so buzzing for him because we really missed him. You know, of course, he hasn't played since... Well, he hasn't played at all in 2020, has he? Either he played the first game against Brighton and got injured after that, or you know, he didn't play at all in 2020. So we haven't seen him in such a long time, and he's such a vital part to our game, especially during that early period in the season of, well, just in October or November, I guess. He was just so important and so good for us. Few good assists, the hat trick away at Burnley, and just other goals as well. And we missed that. And we missed that movement at the far post. We missed that guy that can actually beat someone one-on-one, dribbling a little bit like Eden Hazard. Not quite like him, but a little bit of the sort. And we just missed it, and it was really, really good to see back. Don't ask me why he didn't start. I genuinely wonder myself, but you know, that was rather interesting, I guess. But he did start. He didn't start, so he came on and changed everything. So in the end, you could say Lampard did everything perfectly, because who knows, if Pulisic starts, what he can have the same impact, and maybe he doesn't score that way. Who knows? You know, it's easy to talk after, but none of us know whether he would have actually been equally as good or even better if he started. None of us know. But then another 2 minutes later, another 1 minute and 57 seconds later, actually, Olivier Giroud made it 2-1. What a quick turnaround, you know. I was honestly, I was so annoyed when we conceded that goal in the first half. I was annoyed at Alonso. You know, he had that one moment where it was through and goal. And I'm like, the only thing you can do is shoot and score. And then he didn't shoot, right? So I was just generally really annoyed. And then within 2 minutes, we turned everything around. And that was a really, really good team goal as well. Giroud laying the ball off, which is the one thing that Giroud can really do that Tammy can't do. Giroud, under pressure from behind, he can still lay the ball off perfectly to his teammate. Tammy can't do that. And he laid it off to Mason Mount. Giroud with a perfect follow-up movement as well to reach the next pass by Mason Mount as well. Then Azpilicueta, who out of nowhere, for no idea what reason, but for some reason, was out on the left wing. You know, was then given the ball by, pretty sure it was Mason Mount still, and then he played it back, cut it back to Olivier Giroud on the turn, you know, hit it with his weaker right foot, deflected by God knows who, but some Aston Villa defender, and then unsavable for the keeper into the goal. And that was then that. We didn't, in all honesty, we didn't really have that many big chances to make it 3 after that. Willian had a shot from distance. Was that a 2-1? I'm pretty sure it was a 2-1. But other than that, we didn't really have that many chances. We just kind of saw it out. There was one moment in the second half where very late on, Villa almost got an equaliser when Christensen just kind of stabbed mid-air, really. And, Villa player was through and put it, thankfully, about that far wide of the far post, about that far wide. But then we just saw it out, really. We made another couple of substitutions as Tammy Abraham came on for Giroud and Reece James came on for Willian to kind of make it a back five for the last couple of minutes. But I was happy with it. I mean, overall, the first half, I wouldn't even tell you were that bad, all right? Let's also give credit where credit's due. Villa defended really well and made it difficult for us. Of course, you know, if we had better players and maybe were, you know, not after 3 months of a break, we would have found it a little bit easier to break them down. But at the end of the day, you also have to give them a little bit of credit. They defended well. You know, we give ourselves credit for defending really well against Bayern Munich in Munich, in the Champions League final, innit? So, you know, we give ourselves credit for that as well. Well, you could also say, why didn't they just do better? Do you know what I mean? So there is that. But of course, the defending is just shocking. Like, we need to stop conceding goals like that. What is Aspi doing at the far post? Why is he left on his own with 2 oppositions? Why is no one moving in? I mean, Rudiger kind of tried to clear it off the line and just about didn't get there. But where is Christensen? What is he doing? Like, why don't you move back? But also the rest of the team, you know, it was a set piece. So then you can't just criticize the defenders. Everyone has to move along with the attackers to try and clear a rebound. But none of them did. And honestly, it's infuriating. But the 2 goals were really, really good. And let's talk about a couple of performances. Alonso was absolutely shocking. I mean, Aspi... I can't laughing because I'm hating on Alonso. It's true, though. I mean, Aspi assisted one from the right. And then Aspi assisted one from the left. And what has Alonso done all game? The best thing he did was a shot where he just hit a defender. Do you know what I mean? That was the best thing he did. No, actually, one interception late on when Villa were kind of pushing, you know, in injury time, I guess, to score an equaliser. That he did well there, fair enough. But other than that, he did nothing. You know, he was too slow in his crossing, didn't complete a single cross, one he hit out for a goal kick. He just did nothing, honestly. That's why I keep saying play Reece James on the right and play Azpilicueta on the left. Although, if Reece James trains like he played for those 5 minutes that he was on, I understand why he didn't start, because he was poor, gave the ball away constantly. But I don't, honestly, again, I don't know why Reece James exactly didn't start, especially because we constantly try to cross the ball, which he's by far the best at in our club. So even though Aspie assisted both goals, Reece James is still by far the best crosser in the club. So not really sure what that was about, but I guess it is what it is, and it worked out in the end. Other performances, Rudiger was generally good, had two very, you know, shocker moments, I guess, where he kind of tried to pass it back to Kepa, I think both times, but kind of mishit the ball completely, and Villa were kind of through, where we defended in the end and it was fine, but still, it was a bit of a problem. Christensen didn't have a good game, but didn't have a bad game, bar a couple of moments where it wasn't exactly great either, I would say, but had that one, obviously, moment late on, when he just hit mid-air, you know, thin air, and, you know, Villa almost made it a 2-2 at that point. Azpilicueta assisted too, can't really complain much with that at all. N'Golo Kante, I was very, very happy that he finally didn't almost play as a number 10, which he did so many times on a Frank Lampard already this season. I was happy to see him further back, right? Like I said, in the first half, a bit more of a 4-2-3-1 at times with Kovacic, but for the most part, he's set on his own. And he doesn't sit like Jorginho does, and I'm not sure if he can do this if we're under more pressure. I mean, because in the end, we had 74% of the ball, right? And after the first 10 minutes or so of the second half, we had 90% of the ball. So obviously, the kind of workload and defensive duties that Kante has are kind of limited. And also, you're still kind of taking that one of his biggest strengths away, which is running after people and attacking them, defending them, because he's so quick and agile and has that engine to do so. But he did well. You know, he kept this passing for the most part fairly simple, which I personally prefer to him trying to do fancy dribbling and fancy passing. Keep it simple and use those creative players around you to, you know, push up the pitch. But he had a lot of good interceptions, some good tackles. So I was fairly happy with N'Golo Kante. Mason Mount, good first half. Barely saw anything on for him in the second half, except that he was very, you know, very much so involved in the second goal, which was good. So I can't really criticise him at all. I thought Mason Mount was pretty decent today. Ross Barkley came on. Took a play out of the first goal, was also involved in the second goal. So, you know, a good substitution by Frank Lampard in that sense. Barkley, fair play. Who else played? Kovacic wasn't good today. I wouldn't say it was bad, but he wasn't good. I didn't really see that much, you know, of it. I didn't really see him do that much. Ruben, I spoke about already. Pulisic came on and changed everything, in my opinion. You know, he just gave us that spark. Obviously, scored that equaliser, and then, you know, that gave us that buzz that made us score the second one very soon after as well, which was obviously brilliant. Willian had moments in the first half. You know, so many people constantly hated Willian and stuff. He had some very good crosses in that first half that, with different movement in the box, we could easily have scored from, which wasn't bad. And he also had that shot that the goalkeeper just about tipped over the bar. So it wasn't all bad by Willian, right? Let's just let's get that right as well. That Willian wasn't all bad, but he certainly wasn't all brilliant either. You know, he certainly wasn't all brilliant either. And then who is there? You know, Giroud struggled at times, but scored a good goal. Did well to try to, you know, link up with his teammates. Tammy came on after we were 2-1 up, and we didn't really manage to create that much from that point. Going to be very interested to see you start against Man City on Thursday. Going to be very, very interested to see whether Giroud gets the nod again, or whether that now it's going to be Tammy Abraham. But other than that, what do I have to say? I was happy with, you know, what I said when I saw the lineup. Okay, I wasn't particularly happy with Alonso and surprised by Giroud, but at the end of the day, none of us could see those preseason friendlies that we had, and we weren't there for training. So I was like, all right, we kind of just have to trust Lampard after 3 months off. I can't judge just because of how Alonso was bad before the break, even though that was his better part of the season before the break. I can't judge how I want us to line up just from that, right? I don't know. And I don't understand why Pulisic didn't start. I don't understand why Reece James didn't start. I don't know if they're not fully fit. I don't know. So I was like, okay, we'll just have to trust Lampard. And at the end of the day, okay, it didn't work in the first half, but his substitutions then changed the game. Barkley was very much so involved. Pulisic scored the equaliser. And that was good. And we got the 3 points. We now gave ourselves a little bit more of a cushion in the race for top 4, which is good because, of course, our next game is Man City, which, you know, as much as I try to be positive, we're still rather likely to drop points in. So at the end, it's good. And now, guys, I'm going to get to what you guys have put in the chat so far. Like I said in the beginning already, please do subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers, just past the mark of 98,000 subscribers. So let's help us get to 100,000 subscribers. Honestly, every single subscriber helps. So if you're new here, please do subscribe, drop a like on this live stream if you're watching it right now. If you're there, how many viewers are watching right now? 500 people watching right now. So, you know, with only 122 likes, please go down below and drop a like. That'd be massively appreciated. Honestly, really does mean a lot. It's just a quick little press of a button for you, so should be fairly easy, let's be honest. And also drop a like if you're watching this as a video later on. But yeah, let's just see what you guys have put into the chat. Lampard is better than Ole, of course he is. We need a centre back ASAP and a left back. I don't really care if we don't. If we don't, we have havertz or want. Is a good defense. All right, so you want defenders rather than havertz. I understand what you're saying in this sense, and I'm pretty sure we will get a left back. I don't think we'll get a centre back this summer, simply because of the lack of availability. And you could say Koulibaly is available, but yeah, good luck trying to negotiate with Napoli as Chelsea after the whole Sarri Jorginho situation. So I don't think that makes it a lot more difficult. Kanye needs to stay. Pretty sure you meant Kante. In general, I agree. If he can stay fit, he has to stay. If he constantly gets injured again, sell him and make as much money from him as we can, as long as we can. Chelsea are shit. Well, we won, so I'm happy. Pulisic is our right winger. You don't care. But who's our left winger then? Or do you mean next season when Werner is here? Fair enough. Please, we want Kante to start, play the holding position again. Let's see what happens against Man City, to be honest. Let's see what we do there. Because I am unsure what we're going to do in that situation. I was very confused then. Well, that's my girlfriend. Anyway, let's see whether he does that against Man City as well. Honestly, I'm super, super intrigued. Alonso was shit, man. I agree. Arsenal 1-2. Brighton, Arsenal, Olympiacos. Yeah, that's very funny. The guys are a tad rusty. Other than City, we played the smoothest since the start. The smoothest since the start out of all the clubs. You could argue that. I guess Liverpool are still to play, so we'll have to see. Pulisic will build off this goal with confidence. This can be dangerous. Well, bloody hopefully. That'd be bloody brilliant if we could build some confidence here, wouldn't it? Chilwell and Aki. Get rid with Aki. He's way too short to be a centre-back, way too slow to be a left-back, so what's the point? What do you think of Theo Hernandez as a left-back for Chelsea? Nothing. I don't think he's a perfect left-back. In a defensive side like Atletico Madrid, he's a good left back. In an attacking side like we are, I don't want him as a left back. As a centre back is a good option, and there is a chance he might. Why is he doing this? I don't know. And there's a good chance we might that he might leave Bayern. But we fork out that much money? Is he that good of a centre back? It's difficult to tell. He didn't really play that much at this point this season. Don't know what that guy said. Let's get Blues TV 100,000 subscribers at the end of June. I agree. How about even earlier than that? That'd be sick. So subscribe. Has your girlfriend got... No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans. I'll have you know. I am all for youth too, but today show just how important senior players like Aspi, Giroud, Willian and Alonso are. Almost indispensable. A couple of them. Alonso isn't one of them, but to some extent I certainly agree. Giroud is underrated. Depends by who. But my girlfriend certainly doesn't underrate him. I maybe do. But I just don't like slow strikers. I just have a bit of a problem with it. Tagliafico would be a good shout. Let me just mention one more comment from the chat here. No, Joe, well, please, if anything, a centre-back. Not sure about that one. I think a left-back is very much to need. I'm not sure if Chilwell is the one that we do need, but, certainly makes sense. Ain't my sister, thankfully, my girlfriend. But a bit weird that. But guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here because I've already been going for 18 minutes. Didn't realize I've been going for that long. So I really do appreciate all of you guys that have tuned in. Like I said already, please do subscribe to Blues Fans TV. We're already past 98,000 subscribers, so let's get it to 100,000 subscribers. We're really not fast. So subscribe, all of you that are here, and if you are new, please do subscribe. Drop a like on this live stream. If you're watching it right now, drop a like on it if you watch it as a video later on, and also in that case leave me your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. If you disagree with anything I said, or if you have anything to add, let me know down in the comment section below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea, and I'll see you when I see you.